So in music, I started as a DJ because my brother-in-law, who was banging my sister, had mad records, and he had turntables, you know. So I would go to a house and I'll practice, and I ended up, you know, getting pretty cool. I had a nice little collection, which was also his, and I do school parties. I'll do house parties. One of the biggest drug dealers in Bushwick, man, he was also a DJ. And what I can't tell you. I co-signed the life. I didn't sell drugs. All I did was play this video game named Off-Road, and you just have a pair of pants that have big pockets, and you just play off-road for like 8 hours. You don't get off that game, you just play. The reason why is because they're gonna put stuff in your pocket, they're gonna take stuff out your pocket. That's it. So that was my role. I just played off-road while dudes were sticking stuff in my pocket and taking stuff out of my pocket. That's my only role in that type of scene. He knew that I loved DJing, and he had a nice collection and also equipment. And he was like, I gotta do this gig, but I can't be there. 3 o'clock, I came out of school, he says, I need you to DJ it. Bro, I put a piece of gum in my mouth when he told me that. I was so pumped. The gum stood in my mouth till 4 o'clock in the morning, because I was DJing at like 10 in the projects, in the hood, and it was heaven for me. I was just like, oh my God. But I was a B-boy, I danced, but MCing was that thing that I felt, you know, I really liked it, I loved it, I could get my sensibility, I could joke, I could bug out. Very much inspired by Andrew Dice Clay, Eddie Murphy, Rodney Dangerfield. Of course, you'll say that, how does that work in hip hop? But the hood, though, if anybody knows Sean Price, may he rest in peace, he was a very funny guy. And me and him sat down and we talked about comedy, and we actually talked about doing comedy, like legit writing stuff. He's like, I don't want to be in nothing. We could just write it legit. Fuck it, let's do it. I want to do that. And unfortunately, a couple of months later, he had passed. But we had great conversations about it, and me getting his sense, you know, because there's like a lot of masculinity with hip hop, where dudes are like, yo, hey, yo, pause, you know, all of that stuff, where you're like, bro, chill out. I'm not telling you to suck a dick, bro. We're just chilling, you know, it's jokes. But there's a lot of funny cats in hip hop, and how that goes back to me as an MC. I understood the variations from being a fan of De La Soul, Public Enemy, Onyx, X-Clan. There was a variety, you know, we had all types of things. So that was kind of like what I was as an MC. I wanted to bug out, I wanted to joke. I'm not trying to kill nobody. I know what it's like to go to a Rocksteady anniversary and be inspired, you know what I mean? To really see B-boys do it and get hurt and they get nothing for it, but they did it because they loved it. You know, that's super pure for me, man. I DJ'd my junior high school prom. I DJ'd my teacher's Christmas party. There was this thing called Video Music Box in New York City where you watch all these old videos. At the time, they weren't old. I went to the record store. My brother used to get a lot of chicks who were like his sugar mamas, you know what I mean? And he'll bring them to the house and they'll give me money. And that money, I used to use it and buy records with it. The first record I bought was Make the Music. I bought it from Evil D, from Black Moon. Later on, at that record store I bought it at, Tony Touch worked there. He ended up working there. So Tony Touch was catching records, and I was just watching him, man, just nerding it up, taking it all in. I was like, man, this dude's awesome. And I was like, I rap. And he was like, yo, come tomorrow with your rhymes and an MC name. So I sat there, and there was this group called Lighter the Shade Than Brown that you write a letter to them and you get a free album just for writing a fan club letter to them. Super young, I was, 14. And I don't know why I signed to D-Stroy. So I remembered that. And a couple of months after, I thought D-Stroy went well with Touch. So Touch and D-Stroy, Tony Touch and D-Stroy. So I went back, all my rhymes, Touch and D-Stroy. That really was helpful because he had mixtapes. And he just started. So he was at mixtape 9, Hip Hop 9, and I was the first MC on it. And I was just, from there on, I get the neighborhood love, and then OC, my first paid. I mean, Tony used to pay me money to go and hype clubs with him, but OC brought me on tour as his hype man. That was my first hype man gig when he had Time's Up album, Wild Pitch. I'm a young cat, I'm excited. And he recited a verse that I kicked on one of those Tony Touch mixtapes that I did. And I was like, nah, this is real. And he paid me $70 a show. We did a tour with Keith Murray. And that's when, you know, I was fucking chilling. You know, I'm in a van. We park in like North Carolina, and they're like, D-Stroy, you want something to eat? And I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. So they all go, and I'm like, let me use the bathroom, bro, before, you know, we break out and we continue driving again. So I use the bathroom. When I come out the bathroom, the van leaves. No cell phone, because I'm a kid, right? I have no way of getting contact with any of those guys. So I go to a mechanic in the you know, in that little, you know, highways have the truck stops. I'm like, yo, can I use your phone? I gotta call somebody. Now I gotta call New York, because that's the only number I know offhand. I gotta call my house. And the guy's like, nah, man, it's a long distance. It's gonna cost a lot of money. And I try to walk on the highway. I get like all the highway dirt on me. I'm like a depressed little David Banner, you know what I mean? Oh, you know, life sucks, you know. I decide to go back to the truck stop, and they pull up. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you for coming back. And they were like, yeah, we bought you a burger anyway. And we was like, yo, D-Stroy, where the fuck is he? And they realized they left me there. 3 hours, bro. 3 hours. I was like 16 in North Carolina, prepared to get raped by a snake or anything, bro. I was stressed out. That's you know. So all of that is the beginnings. You know, I had a lot of fun.
Don't lose the love, you know what I'm saying? And once you start losing the love for what you're doing, move on and find something else you love. So keep the passion high at what you do, you know what I'm saying?
You do in your house, you could do a record on GarageBand on your Apple and say, I got a record, put it up on iTunes, and that's it. Mediocrity is accepted now, and that's the biggest issue that I see. There is no true blood, sweat, and tears that goes into a lot of this thing.
To see him coming, I'm still thinking that's some sound guy or whatever, and he's going, da, 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 and I go, huh? And he just stole on me. Pop and clocked me like right around here. Like he got me good.
Because my brother wouldn't rush to come back home because he knew I couldn't use the turntable. So he would stay away all day. I got mad time to practice.